Kia ora. My name is Zinga, or Antonio, and today I want to look at Hob versus Cyprus that happened just on Wednesday, and it was a very entertaining match. This is going to be on behalf of Cyprus, of course. It was a very entertaining match. I think we actually got pretty close to an upset here. The later games were kind of snowballing, as Incineroar is in Hobbs' favor, but a lot of the proof was in the pudding, and there's a lot of things that we can work on and things that will get better not only in this matchup but in just broader matchups. And one thing I kind of want to emphasize is that a lot of the tools from this video you can apply to other characters, and some you can't because sometimes it's a specific sort of dynamic that they bring to the game, which is fine. It's a fighting game; it's expected, right? But I'll try point those out and point out when you can corroborate something and when you probably can't, or if you can, like the other few characters that you can do something like that against. But basically, what I'm saying is that a lot of the stuff here is going to be relevant in a lot of other matchups in Wellington, but I'll point out the ones that aren't, or the ones that are only specific to Incineroar. Now, there's three specific things that I want to work on for this video. One, neutral. I want to talk about SideB and forward air, and why we should use that more, I think. Secondly, I want to look at move scaling and just a bit of theories as to why you should use maybe landing up here more than landing back here in terms of early game shield pressure, and that kind of just rounds into the scaling your moves sort of dynamic, right? Lastly, thirdly, I want to look at to my tongue. I want to look at advantage tape and ledge trapping, specifically ledge trapping. Not really combos, not really juggling, not even really parrying out of skirmishes, which is something I want to look at, but not the centerpiece for today. I'm going to look at ledge trapping very small, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And the reason why is because I've got a slightly bigger video that I want to make about Spargo's Roy. And if there's really one video that you want to watch to get better at like Roy Advantage State, just watch Sonics versus Spargo. Honestly, it's a fantastic VOD, and it's like perfect ledge trapping. Anyway, get out of the way. Let's get into the video. So let's first hitch off with neutral, because that's going to be what's most relevant. And probably most relevant as a start here was you could maybe be using more forward air. Not even maybe, you should be using more forward air, right? And the reason why I think that is because I think personally I undervalued forward air. I didn't realize how actually really good it was. And there's a few things I want to look at. So Roy forward air is frame 10. I know that Nair is technically faster, but the problem with Nair is that it's got this awkward little free frame gap between the second hit. So as a landing tool, it's like, it's okay, right, using Nair 1 as a landing tool, but if you're using Nair 1 as a landing tool, it's just this, right? So it's not a really effective walling tool, I would say, right? As opposed to forward air, which does come out 3 frames later, but it's this for 3 frames, right? It's 1, 2, 3, and then it's gone, right? So forward air already covers more airspace when landing than Nair generally does when landing. Now, obviously, if you use Nair rising, you get a lot of leverage and you can cover a lot of space. So why would you use forward air over Nair? Well, aside from the fact that like Cola and Cola and Spargo mashed forward air, it's a good spacing tool. It's low commitment, and it works really great in your conjunction with tomahawk grabs, right? Because let's think about it. If you're doing a short hop forward air, right, and this is a short hop landing forward air, you're doing a short hop, you're delaying a bit, you're doing a forward air, and then you fast fall. That is effectively the same motion as doing a tomahawk grab. So using this, we can set up a really, really nice mix-up. Think of it like Soul going in for a dash close slash, or going in for a dash and then grab, right? It's, not one to one, but it's the same level of ambiguity and it's the same level of mix up, right? So that's why I think you should use forward a little bit more. But there's also some tips as to how I think you should use it more, because I feel as though sometimes when we do see you use it, especially when we were first kind of like looking at Roy, you would often use you would land with Roy forward air at like a 90-degree angle on top of the opponent. So I just wanna no, okay. So if I just grab a grounded hitbox, say this, just to kind of illustrate my point. This, we'll set this to like a little bit opaque. Okay, there you go. So what I saw you do often is you would land on people, as I said before, in like a 90-degree angle. And the problem with that was that it was, sorry, let me just, okay, I can't fucking flip, whatever. Okay, yeah, whatever. We can illustrate it like this. So you were landing on top like this, right? And the problem with this is that you're less plus on hit, right? So your combos are going to be worse. You're more minus on shield, so shield safety is going to be worse. So like jab's not going to work, and you're not covering like a lot of space. Well, because the opponent's right in front of you, but also because you were mainly coming at like this arc over here, when in reality you kind of want to cover this arc here, which is a terrible way to illustrate it. But basically, you want to be short hopping like somewhere over here, and you want to make sure that the first hit of forward air comes out nearly or basically parallel to your opponent. It shouldn't be up here; it should be here. So this way, you get more plus frames. Plus frames. You get more hits done to work with. You get more safety on shield to work with. So like, what if we go over here? Suddenly, we get to work with a -4 move, which means that if you do this into jab, it is a 1-frame gap, and into down tilt, it is a 3-frame gap, as opposed to near, which is -6 at best. Well, -5 if you get this weird hitbox, but you're not getting this weird hitbox. -6 in general. Wait, actually, hang on. Would you get it? Oh, I guess you could get, let's say -5. Let's say -5, -6, right? That would leave a 2-frame gap here and a 4-frame gap here, which is big enough for some up Bs to go through, some invincible up Bs, and more importantly, for down tilt, some jumps to go through it. As well as just being, slightly more unsafe. So forward air gives you more safety, gives you more ambiguity, and allows you to grab more, right? It just works really well with your tomahawk game. And in general, you should be jumping like this a lot, right? It only has 8 frames of landing lag, so if you're using it to poke in neutral, it's completely fine, right? If you're using it to wall. And it's also just like, literally the only other move that is as lagless is up air, and we know how lagless that is, right? All right, so I know that was a big spiel, but let's see how we can apply this. So that was a nice SideB there, nice nair there. Aha! Look at that. So already that was a very high forward air, right? And let's see what it covered. I don't even know if up air was forward air was kind of the right decision there, but yeah. So you were attacking where he was, which in general I'd kind of advise attack where they're going to be rather than when they are. But this rising forward air just puts you in a very bad position, right? Because you're actually minus, and you were forced into a negative scramble, right? Which Harvey didn't take advantage of, but usually people will. So instead here, maybe what we should have gone for, or what you should have gone for, is hit them out of the nair, jump from here, and then land with a forward air. So that means that you would get the most plus frames if you did hit them. If they somehow managed to shield, you'd be more safe, and you open the grab mix up, as we talked about again. Obviously, double jumped, so whatever, but you probably would have hit the double jump. Now, if we look again, we see a position where you use near, and I don't know if this near getting grabbed was true. It might have been because of staling, but it might have been true. I honestly can't tell. And that kind of shows, like, if you did forward air there, you probably would have been safe enough, because I don't think forward air will ever be unsafe to get shield grabbed. And it also, again, opens up for the grab. Now, you were getting some good shield pressure strings. Like, I think right around here, you get a nair into a jab. Nice. Forward air. Yeah, no, that's a good decision. I think the forward air gets you the most amount here. Okay, you get them off stage. Okay. Now, this is the other part I want to talk about. This is phase 2. This is lead strapping. So, if you're going to stand here, because Incineroar side B reaches basically over here. And if you're standing here, you're just wanting to get hit, right? So there's two spots that you want to be in against Incineroar. You either want to be here, dashing from here all the way running back to the platform here, or you want to be jabbing up close here, because jump side B is his biggest threat to challenge the ledge, right? And that's kind of what I want to talk about with neutral as well, is that Incineroar, when you're whiff punishing Incineroar, you don't actually want to do the same. By the way, I like this. I like this cyber you did there. I don't know if you do it for the reason that I think you're doing it for, but I like that it's kind of ambiguous, and you know, it's a good whiff punish. I like that. Well, not whiff punish, poke. Was that a poke? Yeah, why not? Alright. So, anyway, you get sent off stage. You get put into a spot where I think you got... Oh, yeah, nice forward. What did you get here? Okay, what happened here? I don't want to look too much at juggling, but I do want to see this scenario real quick and see if I can give any hot glue tips. Okay, you got an up air. This was a strange up air to hit. It worked out though. He was mashing something there. I don't know why that happened. Alright, you got 40 there. Okay, I don't want to talk about this too much because it's something that I'd rather show rather than tell. But here is where, instead of jumping and following him, you run and then you flick your shield. Because if you did that, let's look at... So, let's say you flicked your shield somewhere here, you would have gotten a parry, right? When instead here, you get hit here. I don't want to talk about that too much, because that's something that I think I can kind of show through VOD reviews of Cola and Spargo better, but it's worthy to note that that's a really good spot to use a shield flash there. Also because you're playing the revenge minigame, right? And if you flash your shield there, what you're also answering is if he did revenge here. Because if he did revenge here and you did a forward air, you lost. He did a back air here, you also lost. Frankly, this is a losing situation, right? But if you run here and you flash your shield, you counter both of them. And obviously you reaction punish, but you counter both of them. This is just a nice meaty by Hob, I believe. I think that was true. Yeah, that's a bit of a weirdo option. It kind of happens. Honestly, don't mind it too much. It's kind of a soul DP where it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? You know, he's not got RC. You know, he's not gonna like do so much of it. Insane counter here. There's something in the water you were drinking, but I guess it worked. Why not? Sick. Yeah, that it was good, I guess. I like the shield pressure there that you were just doing like down tilt. That was nice. So you did near here. Again, we could look at using forward air here, because they essentially do the same role, except forward air gives more mix and also combo extends, right? But that's just me being a forward air trooper for now. Nair's completely fine. Nair doesn't need to get replaced. Nice grab conversion. Alright, nice punish. You could have gotten a little bit more, because, like, revenge is really... Oh, hang on. Let me not talk shit. It's not super laggy, is it? 16 frames. Okay, well, this will show, I guess. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. So around 22 frames. Okay, that's actually like pretty safe. Maybe if you were super aware, you could have gotten an up smash, but honestly, getting the 4D here is completely fine. An up smash, I mean. Let's take. Oh yeah. So here's part of the problem, right? Is that these Nairs start becoming really predictable, and as you can see here, Hob is starting to read your rising Nairs. So here, if you did short hop landing forward air, you still would have gotten countered, but then you open up the mix of then doing grab, right? And Hob just got owned there. He sucks, lol. Nice landing up here. Yeah, not a bad follow-up there. Oh, well, hang on. So you don't really want to do rising up airs after doing a landing up air because you lose frame advantage. You kind of want to do a up air, then like short hop, and then or like a delayed up air, to a fast fall. But you still get the juggle, so whatever. Optimal juggles in general, you want to delay your move a little bit so you get you're landing with the juggle. You know what I mean? So you can kind of extend off it. Okay, what do we see here? Shield Flash would have parried that. Also would have been revenge. Nice. Nice. Trying to look for something. Evading this. Forward air. Nice. Was that goodly spaced? Let's see. Yeah, so these are kind of... So it's not a bad forward air, but as you can see here, like, look between the distance of my mouse and the floor. It's quite a bit, right? You're still not landing parallel to the opponent, which means that you're still pretty unsafe. This is meant to be a retreating poke, right? But if they shielded this, they would have been really an advantage, right? As opposed to if you landed, like, on the floor. And here is what we're talking about with SideB. Okay, so this is very interesting. So this is a pillar of neutral that we're going to explore, right? So fundamentally, Incineroar neutral kind of sucks, right? Because like a lot of his overcommitments are super laggy. The thing is, the trade-off he has though is that these overcommitments are super strong. Super strong, and B, they're super long. So this SideB goes a really long ways away, right? So the general rule of thumb that I would use against Incineroar is you want to dash back just a little bit longer. Just a bit more. Just run back a little bit more than you would on other characters because you're not playing around the same burst range, right? This burst range is huge. It's like this big, right? So honestly, just run to the ledge, right? And the reason why you do that is because then you can reaction punish really well. And Roy can reaction punish super well because he's got a SideB. And I know that sounds a little weird, but I think I mentioned it in the first video. SideBs out of a run are instant, as opposed to any other special, except for up B, or any other smash tag or tilt aside from up smash. So essentially, if you're a character that has a good up smash, dash tag, or SideB, and dash tag was also in the pool, then or up special, sorry, then you have a really good whiff punish tool, right? So Snake, he just keeps running, and then he dash tags. Roy, you can keep running, and then you run back SideB, right? Cloud, you run back up smash. Fox, you run back up smash. You know, this kind of theory keeps tracking, right? But yeah, in general, you want to over cautiously run back. Now, that isn't a one sided thing, right? Of course, you know, you're playing a fighting game and, you know, it's not something you should always do because the problem with that is that you give Incineroar all that stage. You know, that's the risk reward he's playing, is that you're so scared that you go to the corner and you give up center stage, right? Because you're giving up more of that backdash resource, right? So it's kind of like a small little mind game you have to play of when you break these sort of rules, right? But in general, I would say just try dash back a little bit longer and then react because it's very laggy. His approach options, like his dash attack has about like 15 frames of end lag, I think, as well as just being a very long move. Yeah, 26 frames. Yeah, that's so laggy. And SideB has whatever amounts of lag. Let's see here. Well, I mean, the thing is that you're not even using the lag here to your advantage. You're just seeing that they did the side B as you're running away, and then you can run back in with the side B, right? But yeah, so in general, try Whiff Punish just a little bit longer when you're versing characters like Incineroar. And again, this won't be for everyone. So this is still kind of valid on characters like Bowser or something. But against, you know, someone like Peach or something, they've actually got relatively small burst range windows, albeit fast. So you kind of want to play in a different spacing game. Essentially, you want to break down every matchup as to where their burst ranges and how far back do I dash. Alright. So he takes you down to one stock. He's probably going to fish for a revenge somewhere here. Nice. Alright, give me one moment. Pause. Unpause. Okay, so let's continue. So yeah, nice read. So I've got a couple notes on revenge. So whenever the Incineroar gets revenge on you, your number one goal is to grab them, which is where the forward air mix-up comes into play, right? And the reason why you want to grab them is because grab, obviously, takes away revenge. Or I think it's the throws that take away revenge, but you know, basically the grab, right? So grabbing Incineroar is very valuable, and obviously you don't want tunnel vision because, you know, it would suck if you got whiff punished. But just keep that in mind, is that that's a really strong way to get rid of his game plan, and also he knows about that. So, you know, you kind of play that mind game of like, oh, how much are you respecting me going for the grab, and how much are you expecting me to go for the grab? Alright, so Hobbs probably right. You probably shouldn't take Incin to Town City. I don't think it's, you know, horrendous, but I'd stage list SSBU. So yeah, if we go here, cool. Why is this all? Okay, cool. God damn it. Okay, sure. Let's go here. Never mind. Okay. Awesome. This is how you find it. Okay. So, what do you have? You got to ban because you won the starter. You probably should. Yeah, you should probably ban Town and City. FD might also be pretty good to ban. I'm not sure. If actually, I'd say Town and City and Smashville are probably your go-to bans here. And every other stage is probably fine. But again, it's a small thing. You don't have to worry about it that much. Just know that, yeah, this stage really benefits Incineroar quite a bit. Like, Hobbs not wrong when he says it's very strong. Okay, so you're jabbing there. That's nice. And I want to talk about that a little bit more, but I'm waiting just for a specific spot. Nice. You've been doing those side Bs into jabs a lot more on shield, and it's very noticeable. You're catching people a lot. Okay, cool. So this is where I'm going to comment on it. You hit it at one point, but this is where it's most showing. If you're going to jab on ledge, just keep jabbing on ledge. And if you're going to commit, dash back, you got to dash back a little bit further, right? But yeah, let's talk about mashing jab on ledge. So the only way the opponent can beat the jab reliably is if they've got a move that's faster, that's gonna send out a hitbox faster than frame 20, right? So if you're mashing jab, Incineroar can't do jump side B because his side B comes out. Well, actually, jump is like frame 15 when you can do it, if I believe correctly. Where is Incineroar? Yes, so you can act on frame 15 after your jump, and then side B, the air startup, is frame 16. So that means that you quite literally, it's like a like a frame 30 option from ledge, right? So if you're mashing jab, as we can see here, which is 15 frames of inlay plus 5 frames of startup, so that's active on frame 20. Um, you know, 30 to 20, that means he can literally never get past you with side B, right? So that's why jab mash is so good there, right? Now, what's another thing you could do? Well, he could do jump up air on reaction. And let's look at the stats for that, right? So up air is frame 7. You need to drop off ledge for 1 frame, that's frame 8. You need to double jump for the next frame, that's frame 9. So between this and this, yeah, they could time that. The problem is, though, is that if you shield, you beat out that entire option and you can out of shield it, or if you hit them with jab, now they've got no jump. So, it's a big risk they're taking if they're doing that, right? Now, the other thing I want to look at is that if they do jump revenge from ledge, it's also actually not that safe because it is a frame 18 option because it's frame 3 startup or frame 2 startup from an active position of frame 15. So it is frame 18 active, right? Which means that, where's down me? Here it is. Which means that there's a 2 frame window for them to do it and catch you doing jab mash, which, maybe if you got super good at the Roy Ensign matchup, you'd be able to hit, but I don't think Hop is going to be hitting that anytime soon, right? Now, you had the good idea of mashing jab, but then you dash back, and dash back is fine, because in every other matchup, that escapes the burst range. Unfortunately for us, we're playing against Incineroar, who has infinite burst range with side B there, right? Obviously exaggerating, but yeah, so if you're going to dash back, you want to dash back all the way over here and then just react, right? And then if they do nothing, you run in, right? But then, obviously 50-50. I'd even say maybe it's best to jump back because that way you give yourself more momentum, but I digress. Nice. What happened here, actually? I shouldn't say nice for no reason. Okay. Kind of hitting ghosts here. I feel like you're hitting them where they are as opposed to where they're going to be. Which is, I know it sounds like a 5-hit advice, the same way like focusing your opponent does. But it does go a long way to just say like, okay, I'm going to hit the person where they're going to be. And you do seem to be pretty good on that, but it's another thing to always keep in mind is hitting them where they're going to be. Yeah, like here, like he wasn't there, right? You know what I'm saying? So what, you hit them there, they were there. 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 Then you down tilted there, and they were there. Mm, yeah, you're right here. You're just hitting them where they are, right? Which I totally understand. Part of me wonders if you did this on purpose to get like a shield poke, because this actually looked like a setup. Um, but you know what I mean. Like you're kind of just hitting them where he is, and this brings up the second point. One of the other points that I wanted to bring up, which was, shield staining. So if you hit someone with back air and shield, this back air is basically not going to kill for the next jab back air, right? Which means a lot. You want to keep your your back air as fresh as possible, so that when you do um, jab back air, you can kill them as early as possible, right? I mean, that only makes sense, right? So you want to keep the staling queue. Not only do you want it like not stale, you want it fresh. So I would say try not to hit people on shield or back air for that reason, so that you can kill later on, and it just gives you another incentive to use up him instead, right? Nice, good whiff punish. Okay, maybe you could have gone for another nair instead, but I don't know. Oh, what happened here? What did you drop? Okay, forward in, nice. Got grabbed again. Gotta respect that. I would also say try walk more, because walking puts you in frame one dashing state, or you can dash instantly out of a walk. So it just gives you more microspacing options. Okay, now. Shield flick here. That way you counter the nair. Or the counter. Nice double nair. Oh, unfortunate double edge dust did not hit there. And you were dead anyway, so who cares? Right there, 4D might have been better. I guess that's the other thing that 4D is better at, is it's better to descend with in certain scenarios, even though I do think that you should be landing more parallel to your opponent. Okay, tried to get that, but did not get that. Out of shield, you did a jump to, I guess, challenge like a spot dodge or something, which is fair enough. You got caught in shield. You don't really want to be caught in shield against Incineroar, so keep trying to dash back and give away the stage. Nice, nice whiff punish. And that kind of follows in line with what I was talking about, but it was kind of a poke, right? Because you ran back, and I don't know if this was reaction. I'm willing to say it probably wasn't, but maybe you were like reacting to the scramble. This kind of feels like an in the moment intuition moment. But it was a good whiff punish. I'm a big fan of that, and that probably would have worked with SideB as well. So keep that up. That's very nice, actually. I appreciate those moments. In general, I feel like we're struggling to find true ways to kill the opponent, right? But slowly you're finding more ways to do so. And one of those ways is obviously jab back air, right? And we're not finding a lot of those right on the ledge right now. But you're getting better at them, which is good. All right, round three. So nice forward air. That's good. Now, yeah, that's all right. Now that was a bit ambitious. And again, let's just look at where you were kind of throwing those hitboxes. So this was a nice forward air. You're walling out. That was a nice jab. You're walling out. Now, a little bit too much on where he was, I think. F tilt, a bit too much on where he was. And this nair was a little bit basically where he was, right? And maybe if you didn't fast fall it, you would have been able to catch this run back to whiff punish your grab, or your nair. Again, right there, if we look at kind of the play-by-play, you'll see that he was just kind of there, and then you neared him. Yeah, like right here. So he jumped here, and then you were nearing him where he was. So try hit people where, I know this might sound annoying, but try hit people where they're going to be. And one of the ways you can do that is by doing the landing forward airs, or even retreating forward airs, or just walling out aerials, right? Okay, you got countered. Grab here is very good. Okay, you get a nair. Maybe jab would have been better there, but you converted nonetheless. Try to get a jab there. He side beast. the wrong direction. You run in, run out. Nice nair, getting the punish. Nairing again, trying to get a whip punish. Gets an F smash. Nice. Good weight. Alright, you're using jab. Nice. Okay, so there was a lot of really nice things about this stock, right? And I think you played this really well up until just kind of here, where unfortunately you didn't get the jab back here. I don't need to point anything out there because you know what to do. So I'm really big fan that you kind of converted into this. And as we saw before, right, he side beats. It's literally impossible for him to get past it because it's frame 30 and this is a frame 20 string, right? So you did this. Could have gotten back here, and honestly, you probably took the stock with the back here because it was fully fresh and out of short hop. Well, not a short hop. It was just a fully fresh back here, and if it didn't kill, you got to put in a really good spot. Again, a little bit too much where they are instead of where they're gonna be, and if you're gonna hit them where they are, doing a tomahawk grab is really good. Alright, trying to get a scramble with the jab. Nice, good. Respecting your opponent, dashing in and out. Still need to dash a little bit longer intervals because of the big burst range, but nonetheless, you're doing very well. Get the SideB there. So I like this dash back, but I'm a big fan of like where you ended with the dash back, but I'm not a fan of where you started the jab, right? Which might be me being bad because I'm not a road professional. But in my eyes, I think for the advantage day that we were kind of looking at with Roy, it's best to be doing this kind of shield jab mix up here, especially if you're doing an on release, an on release, an on reaction shield release. Obviously, he's got a shield grab, so I don't know how it actually works that much because he's got jump side B. I think you could still get a meaty like that, which I'm very optimistic about. But yeah, so if you do these jabs here, you're trying to hit them on the 2 frame. I'm not sure if it hits Incineroar, but I'm sure down tilt does maybe, or even down smash, or even forward air. But then if you're gonna run back, that means that then you do run back all the way over here, which is good. So again, jab somewhere over here, and then run back somewhere over here. Nice down tilt. Ooh, okay. So this is nearly very good. So you got them off stage, down tilt, you're playing over here, you get to here, and you just do jabs, right? Now, you knew he was going to side B, I assume, or you knew he was going to do something, and if you ran all the way back here, you would have gotten the whiff punish on the side B. So this is a really good spot, right? So you had 2 answers here. You either kept jabbing, or you dashed back all the way back, and you need to commit to one of the two. You can't change in the middle of it, right? Because then that means that Hobbs gonna be able to beat you here. So here you should have probably just committed to the run back, or just done a jab mash. And let's just see the scenario again. Yeah, I'm pretty convicted in that. Alright. Oh, we get gimped there, unlucky. That up here back here again. Keep in mind that this up here, you know, who cares about the sailing here, but we really care about the sailing here. They're at 150, so really it doesn't matter, I guess, but just kind of a rule of thumb, you know what I mean? Nice forwarder. Nice. Good tomahawk. That's really good. Nice tomahawk again. And you got an F tilt for your troubles. Nice. Up here, forward air, 37%. Nice. Up here there. Could have gotten maybe a little bit more, but nice nonetheless. Get a nair there. Maybe could have gone for a nair extension again, but who's to say? Got an F tilt here. Nice. I'm a big fan of that up here one, actually. Not up here one, just up here in general. I think that's a really cool way to do it. I wonder, I guess you covered neutral up as well, right? That's pretty creative, actually. And good side B here. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, no, that was really nice. Well done. Yeah, okay. Maybe you could have looked for a take chase, but that's a tough angle. Maybe what I would do actually is in these sort of scenarios to make it more predictable, I would hold in on this next nair to make sure that I'm standing behind him, just so I know where he's gonna get sent out, right? And to be able to follow up on him in a more predictable angle. Because the problem is that if you cross him up on the nair here, you actually end up sending them completely the other way while you're still retaining that momentum, right? So if you drifted yourself a little bit back, and Roy air drift is really good, that means that you would have been able to keep the momentum going forward on here, and you also would have sent them here. So just keep in mind where you're drifting when you're doing these nairs. I love these SideB 1, 2, 3, and then jabs. Very good mix up. Good SideB. Again, with punishing with SideB. Very good. Rising up here is a little bit ambitious just because they're very minus. So remember to do shuffle, short hop fastball, or full hop fastball. Interesting take chase. Okay, good aggressive recovery. Nice, good shield string. Alright, trying to survive. Getting hit by the dash tag. What's the off stage? Getting it back here. Sorry, not up here. Getting grabbed via troubles. Need to end it soon. Getting poked out with the nair. Getting poked out with the SideB. Getting punished by the dash tag. It was probably, I think that was a bit of a risky SideB you did there. And I'd replace those with just landing forwarders, you know, just to keep yourself as safe as possible. And nice. And as you can see here, look at how fast you can do a dash SideB. Isn't that crazy? That's nuts. Okay, so I kind of want to breeze through these couple next ones just because they were a little bit more hub dominated, but I kind of want to just circle back on the things that we've explored. So there probably could have been an air. Interesting counter in general. I wouldn't really use counter in this matchup. I'm a counter hater, but you know it's like he's got a command grab. It's kind of risky. But to your credit, you didn't manage it. A bit of sus DI there, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Was it? I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that just deleted you. Like off of no rage. A little bit of rage, but no. Yeah, no. Revenge stack. I feel like you just weren't holding in. Nice, good waiting on the up is there, even if you got revenge there. Interesting downers. It's always good to mix up, but Hobbs clearly not ready for them. Up here for your troubles. Trying to go back to stage. Nice SideB. Nice forward air. Good edge guarding. We love to see it. Just the moment, you know, Zutzwang situation, right? Where, you know, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. So they did upbeat there, they just killed themselves, right? No, I think that's very well played. Alright, getting hit by the neutral beyond there, unfortunately. Trying to escape the corner. In the biz, we call that a zinger rolling out of the corner. So avoid that because Hob has played me for millions of years, and he loves punishing zingers all the time. Nice. Nice. Hold on, let's look at the stock again. Okay, getting a lot of light hits there. Feel like back air kind of staled a little bit and doesn't really give you a lot of value now. Nice dash jack, good whiff punish. What do you do here? Okay, so you're out of range for SideB. Oh, not really actually, but again, could have just mashed jab on wake up. Yeah, as we can see here, that's kind of the 4-days I was talking about before, but they're not really coming at that 45-degree angle, you know what I mean? So they're actually pretty unsafe. So if you just did a short hop fast forward, you would have gone, slightly safer forward. Maybe covered a little bit more. Yeah, because that left 2 very minus. Alright, unlucky. Okay, so similar interactions from before, getting off punished a little bit much, maybe. Yeah, that Nam will just get whiff punished, I guess. Again, maybe hitting where they are a little bit too much. Nice. Well, I could have gotten a bit more, but unfortunately the frame trap kind of got busted. Alright, parry the nair. Interesting. I'm surprised that up here didn't hit, but I guess probably just didn't come out in time, or maybe landed a little too sooner. Hobbs giving you a lot of stage to kind of work with in the corner, and you're kind of taking advantage of it a little bit, but he is shielding a lot, and you're not really grabbing him out of it, which would be really good because you'd beat him out of his win condition. But nonetheless, doing very well. Like, this is still a completely winnable game. The big thing is that, like, when you get them off stage, you're still not, you're not finding too many conversions into back here, which is fine. Jet back here is genuinely like a tough confirm. It takes a bit to really unpack. But honestly, like, the more I see you jab on ledge, and the more we kind of see how like unpunishable it really is, the more you really start to take stocks. I feel like, because you're not losing neutral too bad, even if there's some ways to improve it, like, you've still got some really good fundamental ideas. I think it's mainly that you're not eating some of your food sometimes, you know what I mean? Anyway, getting caught there. Unfortunate. Yeah, like there, if mashing jab probably just took stock there, maybe. Alright, so last stock, need to make some magic work. Trying to near there. Just shield, because up B is like minus 1 second, I think. Instead of up B. Alright, trying to be out. Jab. Tried to get the back edge, did not though, unfortunately. Nice. I really like that cross up. I think that's really cool. Did he now? He did. Okay. Yeah, that's alright. So the big things that I wanted to kind of take away from this is just you're using forward air more as a walling tool, as a retreating option, but also as an approaching option, and also as just a neutral option. Just use more forward air. I think it's really good. Um, Another thing I think that we could look at is uh, in the normal matchup specifically is just running back a little bit more, overshooting your whiff punishes a little bit more, so that you have more space to punish the dash tag / side B, because those are very vulnerable and very laggy, right? Like it's honestly fine even if you hit the corner, as long as you're just dashing back and avoiding those side Bs and stuff. Now, obviously, they only earn as much as respect as they've earned, so you don't always need to dash all the way back. And sometimes you can just mix up with approaches like jump and tomahawk grab or something like that. But yeah, and the other crucial thing I would look at for neutral is just try avoid using back air on shield. You don't want to stale it. You want to make sure it's fresh enough so that jab back air will kill. For vanish state, don't worry about it too much, but I do think you should be using jab on ledge a little bit more. Both the mash variant and the shield variant, where you shield and then release shield on wake up to hit immediate jab. I think that's really strong, but I'd like to develop that a little further. In general, I feel like jab finds you your kill conditions, and you can leverage it the most. And he's a good character, right? So jab's gonna do really well. And eventually you'll find spots to find jab that aren't specifically in those positions. Now, for the last tip I want to give is just for the spacing. I kind of would like to see a jab on ledge, and then if you're gonna dash back, you dash back away from where their nearest reversal ledge is. So for Incineroar, it was about like the back of the inner sort of spot of the platforms, the side platforms. So if you kind of dance from being at neutral get up and threatening the jab from hitting the ledge, and also dashing all the way back so that you can whiff punish, I feel like you cover quite a bit. But yeah, that's me. That's the sort of overview. Hope you got something out of it. If there's anything that needed to be clarified, let me know. Bye.